Imagine Sam walking down the hall when someone new catches their eye. Sam stops cold. The surrounding noise fades away, and suddenly, this new person seems absolutely flawless. But while Sam is starry-eyed, Sam's friends are standing right there, watching this new arrival shove past someone in the hall without apologizing. To the friends, the rude behavior is completely obvious. To understand why Sam completely missed the rudeness, we have to look at this diagram of Sam's brain. The moment of intense attraction triggers a chemical reaction. A massive dose of dopamine floods the system. This is the exact same chemical your brain releases when you beat a difficult level in a video game or eat a slice of your favorite cake. Once that intense reward chemical is active, the brain wants to keep it flowing. To do that, the reward system forces the brain to filter out any negative information. Those sharp, obvious warning signs like shoving someone in the hallway get instantly filtered out. This chemical rush shifts the brain's internal priorities. It focuses entirely on the immediate reward of the crush, drowning out the logical signals that would normally notice something is wrong. Look closely at how this works. When you see someone attractive, your brain instinctively paints a glowing border around them. You start assuming they're flawless. The brain quickly forms a narrative about the amazing, flawless future you are going to share together. But eventually, the real world interrupts. The crush flakes on your plans, acts emotionally distant, or breaks a promise. A clear warning sign arrives. When that happens, the brain panics. To protect the narrative, you grab onto excuses, relabeling the red warning signs as mere misunderstandings. You end up tolerating terrible treatment because your brain is more protective of the fantasy than the reality. Tearing down the storybook movie set hurts more than ignoring the messy truth. Lust creates massive emotional intensity. It feels exactly like an action movie filled with explosions, chaos, anxiety, and heart-pounding nervousness. It's easy to confuse this constant high with a deep connection, but while a real bond usually feels like a steady, predictable rhythm, this attraction feels more like a siren's blaring emergency that keeps you on edge. The roller coaster gets even wilder when the crush acts distant or inconsistent. On the screen, they look like a rare video game token that keeps dodging out of reach. Your brain decides they're incredibly valuable because they're hard to catch. While focused on the chase, the brain tunes out its internal alarms, ignoring any discomfort when texts are left on read. The addiction to this unpredictable thrill makes the brain temporarily deaf to its own common sense. This is why an outside perspective is crucial. Back in the hallway, Sam's friends step in and gently point out that the new kid is actually acting dismissive. If we put their brain activity side by side, the difference is stark. The friend's perspective is calm and clear because it isn't flooded with dopamine. Like spectators watching a game, they aren't caught in the chemical rush, so they see the right moves. Choosing logic deliberately shuts off the chemical filter. Once the intense glow fades, the flawless crush becomes ordinary, and those hidden warning signs stand in plain sight. To protect yourself when attraction hits hard, you have to deliberately slow down the pace. Ask yourself if this person's actions actually match their words, and pay close attention when your trusted friends notice something wrong. Getting swept up in a massive crush is a totally normal, fun part of growing up. Most people experience that wild dopamine rush at some point, but an intense chemical high cannot support a real relationship. A healthy connection requires consistent trust and respect after that initial dazzling glow fades.